Now, the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars, but the plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Now, those stars weren't so big. They were really so small that you might think such a thing shouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag, "Oh, we are the best kind of Sneetches on beaches!" With their snoots in the air, they'd sniff and they'd snort. "We'll have nothing to do with those plain-bellied sort." And whenever they met them when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them, without even talking. When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, did the plain-bellied get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-bellied Sneetches. They kept them out cold, in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, and never let them come near, and that's how they treated them, year after year. Then, one day, it seems, while those plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there, wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a voice clear and keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. And I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy. But I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed." Then, quickly, Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, "You want stars like a star-bellied Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and climb on aboard." So they clambered inside. Then that big machine roared. It bonked and it thonked, oh, it burped and it jerked. It bopped them about. But that thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars! They actually did! They had stars upon theirs! "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah! We've got stars now!" they yelled at the ones who had stars from the start. "We're exactly like you! You can't tell us apart! We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties! And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties!" "Oh!" groaned the ones who had stars from the first. "We are still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But how now in the world will we know," they all frowned, "whether which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then up came McBean, with a very sly wink, and he said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That's perfectly true, but come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches. Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption can take off your stars, so you won't look like those Sneetches that have them on theirs." And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their bellies quite nicely. "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we've got our stars off!" With their snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout, "Now we know who's who! Now there isn't a doubt! The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without!" Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. And of course, from then on, as you probably guessed, things really got into a horrible mess. All the rest of that day, on the dark, screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie was fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again, through the machines they raced round and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money, they kept running through, until neither the plane nor the star bellies knew whether this kind was that kind, or that kind was this kind, or which kind was what kind, or what kind was who! Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up, and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car off the beach. They never will learn. No, you can't teach a Sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong. No, I'm happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. And that day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best upon beaches. And that day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had them or not upon theirs.